a lot of people has been talking with me about the what we call that the company earning, especially in the US company. What is that? So is because US, they have a lot of these bad news, especially recession, all right, and then followed by some of the analysts expect that the US company going to face more pain as the earning recession is actually expected, all right, but based on the data, the unemployment rate is still at a very low percentage. So I think in near term, we are not going to see any recession in the US country, but anything can happen, all right? So that's why you are here to find out what we should be doing, all right? So this is the February, okay, date, all right? February, 这个是2月份, okay? So if you look at the date, right, it's February, all right? Around 1.5 months before, and now right now is earning season. 所以现在的话，如果你是看这个，不管是新加坡股市或者是美国股市哈，现在是这个就是说earning season, okay, earning season, all right. So that's why a lot of analysts expect the earning might not be so good, okay, especially for S&P 500 company, all right. So this is a news, and then followed by based on the data, okay, according to the analysts, right, they expect that the S&P 500 is going to have a negative EPS guidance for this upcoming US S&P 500 company. So you can see that the expectations of negative for EPS is pretty high, okay? It's pretty high. So it's actually worried some of the people, all right? A lot of people, begin to ask, hey, the stock can still buy or not, or, short or, stay away. 所以当我们看到这个数据的时候，其实是就是说蛮害怕的哦，因为市场不是很明朗哦，首先，然后接下来就是美国市场有可能进入这个经济衰退，而且这个报告也显示说，这个 S&P 500大企业他们的业绩报告有可能是大致上有可能是不会很好哦，所以你可以看到这些数据就是它的 expectation 其实不是很好 ，alright， 所以就导致很多这个尤其是股民啦，或者是基金经理啦，他们也是在很担心或者是很担忧。So this is actually a very worried figure, alright, because by looking at the earning, okay, if let's say the earning is not good, and then plus the recent data is going to announce, which is CPI index, also followed by the inflation's Federal Reserve decision, whether are they going to increase the interest rate or not in this week, okay? So this week we have a lot of the US data is going to release, all right? So you can see market is very quiet, or the market is not so exciting, all right? So it's because the people are waiting for the data to be released this few days, all right? 所以当这个数据不是很好的时候 ，OK， then 另外一个报章就显示说这个 hedge fund is actually shorting, boosting to short the S&P 500, in a decade high, before the CPI and the earning. 所以他们看到这个数据刚才我show你的数据，他们看到这个数据并不是很好他们就认为说有可能这个美国市场会开始大跌，所以他们就趁这个机会开始卖空这个 S&P 500了So based on the data that I show you, all right, and the hedge fund manager actually begin to short sell the S&P 500 before the before the data is being released this today. So you might want to ask yourself, by looking at this data, you also feel worried, right? Okay, because some of you I think are still holding on the some stock. 所以你看到这个数据的时候，你也是很害怕，你手头上还有股票，如果是这个 hedge fund 的话，他们是这样聪明的人，所以他们有很多这个知识，还有很多资料他们都可以看到如果这个散户一直在买股的话，可是他们卖空的话，股市会是怎样 ？Alright, so it's pretty scary. Alright, well, people are buying, okay, but these smart people are short selling they are shorting, okay. And in fact, this is the latest date alright, 这个是最近的报道，而不是之前的最近的报道，所以其实他们是刚刚开始在 short 了so they just recently shorting, alright, so it's not the outdated news, it's actually a latest news actually, alright, so it's pretty scary, alright, if they are shorting S&P 500, then what about us, okay, as a retail investor, should we worry? Alright, so the next thing we see, alright, then I find out that, okay, this is also a latest news, alright, which is April of 11 this year. So hedge fund is actually shorting S&P 500, because they expect the market is going down due to the bad earning, okay, due to the what we call that probably what else recessions, okay, from the US country. So they are actually shorting. So based on the data, okay, okay, the fund or hedge fund actually shorted S&P 500 E-mini future, okay, roughly 321,000, okay, 321,000 contract as of Tuesday. 所以在这样的情况之下，其实美国市场对很多人来说是不是很明朗的？所以就是这些 hedge fund 这个基金经理的话，他们看到经济不是很明朗，所以他们是先开始卖空这个 S&P 500，而且他们卖空的单位是非常大差不多有321千contract321千 contract 是有多大 ？OK， 321千 contract我刚才帮你们算一下了所以刚才我就是说，你坐在前面你就是享受我在讲故事其实我的故事是根据数据的So you just sit in front of your computer, you relax, and then I do my job, okay? I spend a lot of time, so I hope that you can appreciate this webinar and continue to support us using our account to trade, all right? Because if you don't do that, okay, then it's what I call that, is a bit hard for me to continue, all right, to doing, to share with you the latest information. So basically, based on the contract value, all right, they shorted 321,000 S&P 500, all right, mini future. Okay, so mini future, right, if you look at the contract, currently the contract is around 4,140. So times $50, okay, so $50 is the contract size, okay. So 如果你们有玩 future 的话 if you trade future, then you know how much is the contract size, okay. The contract size for E-mini future is very expensive, okay. It's only what we call that affordable by the hedge fund or institution. So the contract size is actually 207,000 per contract, and you time the number that they give us is 321,000, okay. So that means they are actually short selling currently so the hedge fund is currently short selling 66.5 billion, okay, of S&P 500. So it's a huge amount. So currently they are shorting 66.5 billions, all right, of what we call that value. in terms of US dollar. So it's a huge amount, okay? It's a huge amount. So if you look at the, what we call that, contract, just now I can show you the contract. So this is a S&P, okay, E-mini contract, all right? So this is the latest one. So the current price is 4,142, okay? So they are actually future. So currently they are trading. So you can see the price jumping, all right? And then if you look at the contract size, the contract size is $50 time index, $50 time index. So that means 4,142 times $50. So that's why, that's where I get 200,000, 207,000, okay, 207,000, okay, times 321. So we get 66.5 billion. So that's a lot of amount. So then what is going to happen in the US market? Okay, so when I show you the data, okay, a lot of people become so worried already. So how come like that? All right. 所以当我们看到这个数据的时候，很多人就开始担心，美国有可能会开始下跌，是否会这样 ？Okay, is it true that the stock market will going to crash down? Okay, nobody know. So what I show you is basically, although it's fact, all right, but are they going to reflect it in the stock market? Nobody know. Okay, nobody know, because this hedge fund actually shorted earlier. Okay, before the market crashed down. So that means they actually predict that the market is going down. All right, but like what I mentioned, nobody can predict, okay, how the market is going to move. All right, 所以你可以看到我怎样就是说做股票，通常的话我不会预测股票是否会上或者是会下，所以 so I think some of you already know me for quite some time. I usually don't predict how the market move. Okay, basically I only based on the fact, and I look at the chart, how the market move. Okay, and then from there we make a decision. All right, based on the chart. Okay, we make a decision based on the chart. So again, my suggestion to you is that, okay, I always remind every one of you, all right, please ignore the news. Okay, ignore the news. Okay, so what we do is that, okay, we focus on the price action, all right, and look at the chart to determine your entry point and the exit point. If the market crash down, break below the support level, you have the stop loss, and then you can sell away the stock automatically if you set the stop loss. All right. 所以我在这边的话，就是想跟大家分享，就是说不要看太多的 news 啊，当你看太多的 news 的时候，你就会开始担心刚才我 show 你那些数据其实是一个 news 来的然后你看到这个 news 的话，你也是开始担心 ，right? So that's why how are you going to make decision whether to buy or whether to sell? Okay, the solution is price action. All right. So price action basically, will help us to determine when to buy and when to sell. All right. So therefore, I'm going to show you what is going to happen in the stock market by looking at the chart. So 接下来的话，我们会看一些数据，就是这个index, OK, SDI index, 海峡指数，还有 S&P 500，还有这个 Nasdaq 纳斯达克指数。所以我们会看这个指数来告诉我们是否股市已经开始下跌，还是会继续的涨。我们就是看图表来做决定，好不好？ So we see the chart and then we decide, okay, or we analyze the chart, and then from there, all right. So this is before I start. Okay, before I talk about SDI index, so we take a look the US dollar. US dollar continue to go down, and now it's begin to move in a sideways, and followed by the gold price, continue to move up. Okay, so you can see that very obvious. US dollar actually move opposite as gold price. All right, and beside that, why gold price increase is because many expect that the US recession is coming. So that's why many investors, especially conservative investors, are buying gold. okay, are buying gold. And beside that, China, okay, also China government also buying gold. There are actually many countries are buying gold is because they want to what we call that minimize what we call that the usage of the US dollar, right? So if you what we call that look at the politics in around the world, all right, US and China is currently are competitor, all right. So China begin, all right, to what we call that to show the power of the economic, right? So they begin to buy a lot of gold. Okay, so that's why the gold price is being pushed up as well. So there are many factors. Okay, the gold price being pushed up. Partly is because US dollar is crashing down. Okay, then the gold price increase, and beside that, the China government, you know, continue to buy the gold as well, because they also afraid that the US dollar that they have is is going to be sanctions by US government, all right？ 所以中国政府也是怕这些美国政府很霸道，就是制裁他们的美元哈。其实每个国家都是有美元，所以现在很多国家的话就是想希望说他们不要太依赖这个美金了哈，所以他们买入很多的金来就是说限制这个美元。So this is part of the story 了 ，OK？ And we take a look SDI index, all right? So what is going on the SDI index, all right? SDI index, right? So SDI index is basically near the peak seen last week. You know, when I conduct the webinar last week, I already mentioned to you that SDI index was already at the peak and oversold. And I also remind you to take some profit. 有没有还记得吗？ Do you still remember? I remind you to take some profit last week. Okay, do you still remember? Okay, so basically we look at the chart to determine, okay, what is the next move. Okay, and then from there we make a decision, all right, by using our own trade plan. So as of now, you can see that the SDI index begin to retrace. Okay, begin to retrace. All right. So so right now the price are still staying somewhere around 3,285, and the resistance is very obvious, is 3,300. OK， 所以主力的话是大概是在差不多是3300点了哈。虽然它有这几天这个礼拜其实是在回调当中 ，OK， 在回调当中。所以为什么会这样的状况呢？其实很简单，就是说很多这些股民，或者尤其是这个比较专业的股民，他们也是在等待这个 CPI 还有这个利率美联储的决定是否要调高这个利率出炉之前他们就会比较保守一些。So you can see that very obvious, the investor are actually waiting for the US data to be released, right? So that's why they have what we call that they use this strategy called wait and see, okay, before you know, the US government release the data, right? So we can see that the SDI index is not actually moving up, okay, instead it actually moving down, okay. So 在这样的情况之下海指的话，如果你看到它有下跌的话，其实是银行股在下跌。So very obvious because SDI index is being formed by 30 component stock, all right? So the largest component stock is bank, 3 bank. So if SDI index decline, that means the bank stock, Singapore bank stock is decline as well. Okay, so that's very obvious. Okay, so if let's say the price continue to sell down, maybe the next support level would be somewhere around 3,000, somewhere around, would that be 3,000, somewhere around here? All right. So the next support will be around 3,228. Okay, but there's no confirmation that they will go down here. All right, so that's why I say a lot of investors waiting for the data to be released, okay, before the price will going up or going down. Okay, so we will wait and see as well. All right, and this is S&P 500. Okay, so S&P 500 basically it tells us that the price is sloping up. Okay, that means they move in the ascending directions. Okay, and the lowest was October, and after that the price moved up and then they pull back. So the good thing is that when they pull back, they didn't go lower as compared to the October low. So what does that mean? That means a lot of the institutions, a buyer, okay, they bought at low during October, and then they didn't really sell all of them. They still keep some of the stock. So that's why you can see December pullback is a considered healthy pullback. All right. And then after that, after pullback, the S&P 500 rebound again and then hit resistance. All right. And then pull back again until March periods. Okay. And then rebound again. So a lower high is being formed for S&P 500. And you can see that, you know, the S&P 500 actually breaking through 200-day moving average. So if I plug in 100-day moving average, which is the red color, so the confirmation is that the S&P 500 currently, it's still above 100-day moving average and 200-day moving average. So if I plug in 50-day moving average, all right, so 3 moving average, okay, you can see that they are sloping up, okay, slowly. And S&P 500 currently, all right, they are moving above this 3 moving average. 所以在这样的状况下呢，其实我们是在看这个图表，虽然图表很多人他们不相信，可是你要明白说，图表其实是告诉我们真正的数据哦。So the stock chart of S&P 500 basically it actually show us the real data. People transacted, okay, the data, and then it will be reflected on S&P 500. 所以现在我们是在看真正的数据，我们不是在看新闻，你知道吗？所以你不要搞错哦，很多人他们相信新闻，可是他们不相信他们所看的就是图表。很多人他们不相信图表 ，all right？But 你要明白说，图表就是告诉我们真正的数据。So we are currently looking at the real data, and there's no sign, okay? There's no sign of any weakness, okay? There's no sign of any sell down. 所以你看到的话，其实它没有这个。就是说卖空的状况哦，我们现在所看到的是其实是买上的状况。So you get what I mean, all right? So currently when we look at the chart right now, as of today, right? Okay, the S&P 500 is sloping up. Okay, so you may want to ask is that, hey, how come there are a lot of bad news and yet the stock market are moving up? So that is the uniqueness of the stock market, all right? So that's why a lot of the normal people, they cannot make money is because they based on the logic. And stock market, they move in the irrational way, all right? So that's why if you are my student, you know what am I talking about. So if you cannot catch what I talk about, that means you have to increase your knowledge. Okay? 所以在这样的情况之下到目前为止 okay, as of now, I don't see any sell down, okay? So I'm not too worried about right now, okay? 到目前为止的话没有卖空的状况 okay? 所以不用太担心不用太担心 but anything can change, okay? Anything can change, so that's why you have to be flexible. So if you still remember what I teach is that you have to be flexible because stock market is dynamic, anything can change. So that's why your strategy has to be changed as well if the market turn against us. All right. So as of now, I think the resistance, okay, remain unchanged, 4,200. Okay. So the resistance remain unchanged, 4,200. All right. So next thing we look at Nasdaq 的指数 ，okay, Nasdaq component. All right. So this is Nasdaq. In fact, Nasdaq actually move more faster as compared to S&P 500. All right, they move more faster as compared to S&P 500, and you can see that there's no sign of any weakness. All right, of Nasdaq component. Okay, there's no sign of any weakness of the Nasdaq component. In fact, the stock price are sloping up as well. In fact, the stock price are sloping up as well. Okay, and you can see that the index are moving above all the moving average that I show you, including 50-day moving average, 100-day moving average, and 200-day moving average. So what does that mean? Actually, Nasdaq component and S&P 500 are entering technical bull market. Okay, technically they are in the bull market, right? So what I show you just now, you know, bad earning, earlier recessions, okay, the hedge fund short sell S&P 500, all right, all those are the news, all right, but what I show you is the data, okay, real data, 真正的数据，我们在看真正的数据。所以纳斯达克数据，纳斯达克指数的话，它也是没有显示说，有卖空的现象哦。其实你可以看到，买上的现象就有了哦，很多人就是买上 ，alright. So this is Nasdaq component, alright. And if you still remember that I did mention, okay, last week, the double top here, okay, double top. And if you still remember, I did ask you to take some profit, okay. And since then, there are quite a number of stock actually pulling back, okay, pulling back, but okay. But what happened is that you can see, okay, last few days, all right, the market is pretty strong. Okay, they didn't drop much. 所以你可以看到，其实它有回调哦。上一期我有讲到，其实美国市场已经就是说已经在这个超卖区，超买区哦，超买区哦。就是说超买区的话，就是说套利的现象，有可能会发生啊，就是上个星期已经开始发生了，所以这个星期的话，你可以看到其实它没有什么下跌，而且还有很多人其实是买上 ，alright， so you can see that the fact is that people are still buying, so they are not too worried about the bad news, so they keep buying, alright, they keep buying, but of course, like what I mentioned, do remember, alright, anything can change. Okay, do remember, set stop loss. You must have a proper plan, all right. You know, to actually, you know, to be prepared if anything happen, all right, so that you can, you know, get out of the stock if the market turn against you, right? So in fact, Nasdaq is quite positive, right? So I didn't see any weakness as well, right? So it's pretty strong. So we'll see how this 2-day, how the data is going to affect the stock market. So 今晚的话，有可能是会有 CPI index 的数据， then 明天的话，有可能是有这个这个通胀哦，这个通胀这个是否会调高哦？所以我们会看这个2晚了哦。So then next thing is a Hang Seng Index. All right. So Hang Seng Index has been slowed down a lot since the rebound on October, okay, end of October. So there has been went up 3 months previously, and then they begin to pull back on January. All right. So as of now, you can see they are still very weak, but at least the index are still trading above the 200-day moving average, right? So still get still have a lot of potential, right? The previous high was 31,000 points. So as of now, it's only 20,000 points. So yeah. So if you are looking for a Hong Kong market, you know, there are some very good company in what we call that Hong Kong stock market. And if you are new, okay, my suggestion to you is that you might want to explore Hong Kong market as well, okay. So because the market is still pretty low, right? So I think got a lot of potential, especially when we talk about China, because China is going to overtake US economic, the biggest economic. I think it's pretty obvious that the China is going to compete with US， OK， 所以很明显中国政府其实在就是说进行这个非常庞大的这个竞争有可能他们会就是说成为世界大的经济大国，所以如果你现在不投资香港股票的话，难道你要等到它上到31万的时候你才投资吗？所以你想一下。So what I mean is that, okay, right now is 20,000 points, okay? There are many quality of the company listed in Hong Kong, right? So if you don't invest now, okay, are you going to invest when the index went up to 31,000 points? All right, so you think about it. So now is the right time, okay? Now is the right time, but you have to understand Hong Kong market is a bit volatile. Okay, when they pull back, they can pull back 10 to 20%. But when they rebound, they also can rebound 10 to 20%. Right? So that is how the Hong Kong market move. Okay. All right. So what is the summary? Okay. Actually, summary. All right. So STI index actually now is flat. Okay. All right. So S&P 500. Okay. Basically, they are also not moving. Okay, I would say they are flat as well because they are waiting for the data to be released. Okay, so Hong Kong weak mean opportunity. All right, so a lot of people wait and see. Okay, wait and see. All right, so because of the index it's not really moving, all right, and then people waiting for the data to be released, so that's why a lot of people using this strategy, wait and see, all right, this strategy. So we do not know how the data is going to look like, okay, so that's why if you have what we call that, so like what I mentioned, so if you think that the market is good, okay, you want to buy, you buy little first. You buy little first. If the market go up, then you can decide to add position. If the market go down, you can cut loss because you only buy little. All right, so there's nothing wrong if you buy little. Okay, there's nothing wrong you buy little. 所以在这样的不确定的时候通常我会采取这个策略，买我还是会买 ，OK， 但是我不会买很多，为什么呢？因为现在还是算不确定的状况，所以我买的话会买少许啦。买少许的话，我每次跟大家分享就是说它有好处。如果它股票有上的话，我可以再做决定加仓。如果股票有下跌的话 ，OK， 不要紧，我会止损。为什么呢？我只是买一点点而已 ，right？ 所以买少许的话有好处 ，OK？ 如果你完全不买的话，它上呢会怎样？你能够要追高吗 ？OK，all right？ 所以what I mean is that in stock market nothing is 100%. Okay, nothing is 100%. The crucial part is that, okay, I always use this term called participate 啦，你一定要参与参与就是最重要的，买多买少另外一回事 ，OK， 买多买少另外一回事。如果你一旦有参与的话 ，OK， 如果股票有上的话，你可以决定是否要加仓；如果股票有跌的话，你可以随时止损就是输少许啦。因为你买少嘛 ，right？ So that is my advice to every one of you. Ken, so this is the index performance. All right. So it tells us that the index tells us that it's not so scary. All right, because people are still buying. Okay, and that's why most of the major indices are still sloping up and they move above 200-day moving average. Is still considered technically a bull market. All right, technically bull market. Okay. All right, so let me move on. So what is inflation? So I supposed to talk about inflation, all right. So let me go through as quick as I can. OK， 什么是通胀？通胀的话，我们的东西越来越贵，物价越来越贵，然后这个租金越来越贵，我们吃的东西、材料 ，OK， 食物服务业全部越来越贵。All right, so that is what I call inflation. So how are we going to profit from the inflation? Okay, there are many ways lah. So I'm going to share with you how to profit from the inflations. All right. So let me ask you, is inflation good or bad? Okay, inflation good or bad? So if you are income earner, so that means if you are employee, okay, if you are employee and who like to keep cash in your bank, then this is very bad for you lah. Okay, why? Because things become goods and things become expensive, right? 10 years ago, a burger of $4.99 you can buy with 3 layers of what we call that meats. But however, a $4.99 of burger you can only buy 1 layer of meats. So that is inflation. And if you keep money, right, in terms of US dollar has been depreciated more than 96%. So that is US dollar, but Sing dollar still pretty strong. Okay, Sing dollar. So that's why Sing dollar is the best, okay, dollar, okay, for us in Singapore. Okay, and if you have what we call that US dollar, all right, like what I have shown you, US dollar has been depreciated as well. So that's why if you know that the US dollar is going to depreciate further, okay, then you might want to convert some of your USD to a Sing dollar, okay, for those people who like to keep cash, okay. So now inflation is good if you are the business owner, if you own the asset, okay. So asset mean house, okay. If you own the house, okay, some of you are the property investor. Congratulations to you, because your property's value increased a lot. In Singapore, your rental also increased a lot, okay, in Singapore. All right, so congratulations to you. Okay, so I did talk about the inflation, I think last year, if you still remember. So that's why I say, if you can come back every week, all right, I always share with you the content differently. Okay, although the title is the same, and I will make sure that it will not be a boring topic to you. So this is part of my commitment to continue to support the student. Okay, because a lot of people asking me, what is the after class support? When I talk about the mastering price action course, okay, what is the support like? So this is my support to you, the weekly webinar, okay, that I do is actually to support my student, all right, to let them know what is the latest information, so that, you know, they can make their own decision based on the fact and the data that I show them. All right, so this webinar, it also, you know, part of the after class support. All right, and beside asset like property, business like, you know, in US, okay, Google, Apple, these are the giant big company. They make a lot of money, okay. And why is that so? Because this big company is like, you know, we cannot live without them, okay. So the technology company are there to stay. All right, so although you can see that last year they have a huge retrench, the reason is very obvious, because in pandemic, their business was so good, so that's why they need to hire a lot of people. But after pandemic thing become normal, so they have to retrench a lot of people. So this is normal. But the technology company are there to stay, all right? Because we need them, okay? Every one of us need them. Every one of us look at the Facebook every day. Every one of us look at the mobile phone every day, all right? Every day of us, look at, Google search every day. So we cannot live without them anymore, all right? So that's why they make huge company. So what about the SME company, especially the retail company, all right? The services company, the airline company, all right? So they are also making a good money, okay, during the inflations. So this is the fact, okay, this is the fact. So if you know how the financial market move, all right, you can actually make good money because you can actually make a judgment what is going to move next. So you can actually take an opportunity to buy first before the thing happen, right? So that's why this is where I conduct this webinar to help you, okay, to make your decision, which I actually learned from my very successful client who are in the business. So that's why I want to give back to every one of you. Hopefully you can make money together, okay? And asset that can beat inflation are real estate, gold, and stocks, right? So real estate, okay, no doubt, if you compare with these, what we call that, inflations, all right, and the home price, okay, basically, no doubt, the home price is actually higher than the inflations. So that's why Singaporean like property in Singapore very, very much, okay? So that's the fact. And based on the data, S&P 500 actually beat the real estate price. Okay, this is another fact, right? So there are many kind of the people. Some people, they like physical asset. Okay, some people, they like digital asset. Okay, digital asset is like stock and share. S&P 500 based on the data. Okay, S&P 500 actually, beat the real estate prices. So that's a fact. So that's why, the richest person in the world, they have two assets, namely property, and then the other one is what? The other one is stock, okay? Stock or S&P 500. So the richest person, they have two assets, okay? No doubt, all right? And the other one is that S&P 500 also beat gold, okay? But you have to understand is that gold sometimes is pretty volatile, okay? And then gold also don't have a dividend payout as compared to S&P 500, or even though compared to the Singapore REITs. Singapore REITs have a very good dividend payout, but gold don't have, okay? And gold is a non-productive asset, means that the price of the gold is purely based on a speculative value based on the supply and the demand. So there's no profit margin that can be calculated on the gold price asset itself. All right. And if you compare with S&P 500 company, S&P 500 company, they have the product. Okay. When they sell the product, all right, we can calculate the profit margin and the losses. Okay. So basically the S&P 500 company is a productive asset. So you have to understand which asset that's suitable for you. And in fact, there are many people invest in the gold. If you talk about the government to government, also buy the gold. Okay, so it's depend on the individuals, right? It depends on the individual. So the key point is that if you have these three assets, real estate, stock, and gold, basically you can actually beat inflation already if you have these three assets, right? So S&P 500, no doubt, they also beat inflations, all right? So since 1970, S&P 500 always beat inflation. So let me ask you, do you invest in the stock market, all right? Do you buy stocks? So based on the data, you're supposed to make money, because if you look at the S&P 500 index and compare with the inflation, but why people are still losing money? Have you think about it? So 当我 show 你这个数据的时候哦，其实这个数据告诉我们，如果你有买股票的话你一定是会赚钱的。Then 为什么往往还有人亏钱呢？所以你有想过这个东西吗？为什么有些人还会在股市里亏钱？你有想过吗 ？All right, OK， 所以你想一下有可能是买错股票，或者是听朋友讲或者是看报章读太多的那个新闻买错股票，或者是太贪心 ，OK， 所以这些问题都是存在其实数据告诉我们，其实是股票是可以赚钱的，为什么你还是继续亏钱？从10年前到20年前，你问你自己，你是赚钱还是亏钱？你要问你自己 ，all right？ So you have to ask yourself, 10 years ago and 20 years ago, all right? Do you make money in the stock market? Are you still losing money? If you are still losing money, there must be something wrong with you. Okay, there must be something wrong with you. All right. So that's why you need to increase your knowledge. Okay, you need to make a change, right, to improve your investment. So sector performing during the high inflation is food. Okay, bank sector, healthcare, and commodities. All right. So this will happen during the high inflations. Okay. Food price. Okay. So that's why you can see food empire stock went up. Okay. Delfi, which related to food, they went up. The bank stock, okay, last year they went up because the interest rate increased. They will benefit the bank stock. Healthcare, okay, everyone need healthcare, no matter market is good or market is bad, everyone need healthcare. Commodity prices, okay, when inflation is high, gold price, energy, and metal will be going up. Okay, so this was last year. Okay, you have to understand this was last year. Right, what about this year? Okay, 风水是轮流转的market rotate. All right, when certain thing is near the high, then what happened is that people will sell and then they will put the money at the at the cheaper price asset. Okay, so what happened now? Okay, what happened now? All right, now the US inflation has been declined. Okay, the US inflation has been declined. Okay, that was, I think, July 2022. The US inflation was 9.1%. Okay, so as of now, 6.4%. So this was when? This was, is it March 23, right? So inflation has been declining. All right. So what happened is that, okay, what happened is that you may see that tech stock, okay, was at the lower when the inflation was high. All right. So when the inflation was declining, okay, what asset is actually moving up? Okay, what asset is actually moving up? So the sector that was hammered down last year is currently moving up. All right, if the inflation continue to go down. So the US government target 2%. Okay, but I'm not sure will they go down to 2% or not. All right, so we will see how. So now it's very obvious. Okay, inflation has been declined, but but it's still a bit stubborn. Okay, it's still considered stubborn. All right, and you can see that the unemployment rate recently also lower by 0.01%. So we can see that inflation a bit still stubborn. But based on the fact is that, okay, the communications sector is increasing, information technology sector is increasing, consumer discretionary sector is increasing. Okay, so what is decline? What is decreasing? all right, financial sector, healthcare, energy is declined, all right. This was last year. So this year, the sector is very obvious: communication services, information technology, and consumer discretionary. 所以你可以看到这个其实风水是在轮流转，所以这个钱当这个钱就是说越来越大、越来越多、越来越大的时候有人就会去卖它。Okay, so people are selling the asset that help them to make a lot of money. Okay, after selling, what are they doing? They're buying the cheapest asset. So that's why you can see I also recommend, or I also show you the October period last year. US market was bottom, and I also advise you to buy US technology stock. You still remember or not? Right? So this is how the actually market actually move. All right. So if you can catch what I mean, then you make money lah. Okay. If you cannot catch, then pretty sad. Okay, you might miss out the opportunity. All right. So beside that, technology, I want to remind everyone, we cannot live without the technology. Like for example, Google, Meta, Apple, Amazon. We cannot live without them. Okay, Netflix. Okay, YouTube. Okay, YouTube channel. There are many of them. TikTok. Right. So basically, technology is actually helping the country, okay, to bring down the inflations, right? Like for example, the automations, there are many machines that actually creating the car, okay? So no longer need, the physical human to help them to build the car, all right? So when that happens, okay, they'll bring down the car price, okay? And then they also bring down, indirectly also can bring down inflation in the long term. So that's why technology stock, you have to pay more attention to, especially the good company one, all right, because they are, here to stay for a very long periods, all right, because it's like become what we call it, P shipping, okay. So technology stock is like a P shipping, okay. So that means we cannot live without them, right? So email, for example, I think every one of you use email. Okay, so that is part of the technology as well. So we cannot live without them. Okay, so that's the key message that I want to send to every one of you. All right. So before I go into the what we call that watch list, let me share with you my mastering price action course. Currently, it's still under subsidy. All right, up to 70%. So if you have attended my preview, or if you have attended my class, if you find that this class is good and can benefit other people, please recommend it to your friend and your family member whom you think that can help them to improve your what we call that investment. There's no need to be embarrassed or shy or worried to share with them a good class, okay? Because some of you mentioned to me, paise lah, okay? You want to recommend the class to family member or friend, okay? Paise, later losing money, how? I'm not asking them to buy the stock, okay? In this class, right, I'm not teaching them, right? You are not teaching them what stock to buy. I'm teaching them how to fish, okay? So you have to understand, all right? So that's why if you think that this is a good class, please share it with them, all right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want them to pay full amount from the other class who charge them $4,000 or $5,000. I mean, outside there are $4,000 cost, $5,000 cost, and they actually teaching the same thing, technical analysis concept, right? But you can see that for me, the way that I do is not only technical analysis. I will combine a little bit about financial market rotation, so that we can apply the technical analysis to increase the quality of our trade. All right. So yeah. So if you are interested, you can scan the QR code, or you can share this QR code with your friend and the family member. So this is a Singapore recent share buyback. All right. I want to highlight to you that this share buyback does not mean that the stock price will be going up or going down. Okay, just for your informations. And as of now, in Q1, OCBC, okay, continue to buy back the share. All right, and in terms of value, which is quite huge, around 39 million. So Semcon industry, all right, 25 million, which is quite huge as well, followed by Keppel, and then another company, Comba Telecom. Never heard about this company. And Yangzijiang, Singapore Exchange, and ST Engineering. And lastly, we have Nanofilms, 3 million, not much. Best World International, 2.7 million, not much actually. All right. So again, this is just for your information. It does not mean that the stock price will be going up, although buying back the own share is a good thing for a company, but it doesn't mean that the stock price will be going up. So you still need to do your due diligence, right? So 接下来我们看这个新加坡这个 watch list, right? So you can see that my watch list didn't really change much, okay? Because stock market is not really moving, especially in the Singapore market, but there are some small mid-term cap are moving, okay? Especially Delfi, Food Empire, DaRenTang, Genting, and Semcon Industry, Keppel DC, and China Aviation did pull back recently. So congratulations to you if you bought this share previously that I share with you, because almost every week I share about this stock, right? But sometimes the stock did pull back. When the stock did pull back, I did ask you to buy when the stock price pull back. So basically, you know, if you can come back every week, okay, this is what we call an opportunity for you. All right, it's like what we call that after class support, okay, after class support. Okay, so basically we take a look at the chart, okay, so then we see how. Keep this card, okay, keep. So 我们先看这个 Delfi. Right, so basically Delfi are still, how is it? So Delfi are still moving up, but recently a bit choppy. All right, so you can see that the what we call that. So they did rebound a little bit, but then it hit resistance. Okay, so let me see what we can do here. Right. So it rebound recently, and then today the price, the candlestick a bit weak. All right, but the price still sloping up, still look okay. All right, and the resistance is where? The resistance is around $1.16 1.16是一个这个阻力 ，right 阻力，所以支撑的话是大概是在1.04，这个是Delfi，okay. And Food Empire, so we take a look Food Empire. Right, so Food Empire currently goes sideways. Okay, so when we talk about this stock, the price was around 56 cents. Okay, 56 cents, and since then the price keep continue to go up. So congratulations to you. If you make some money from this stock, please type yes, please. So you can, so at least 我可以看到你们有在这个股票赚钱了哈。So 如果你有赚钱在这个股票的话，你 type yes 一下。Alright. So now what happened is that now is a bit tricky. Alright. Now it's a bit tricky. So why I saying so is because they can go both way. So they can go both way means that they can either rebound or break down. So these are the possible possible directions. So sideways is always like that. Okay, either go up or sell down. So that means the support of $1 is very important. So one is break $1 support. That means they go lower. All right, then we may see the next support level is around 92 cents. All right， 所以其实 Food Empire 的话，到目前为止它是走横盘的。所以横盘的话，其实它有两个趋势，either 是上或者是下，所以你们要注意一下哦。所以that's why 上一期的话，就是说上个礼拜啦，我也是跟大家说，就是套利一些time to take profit. Alright, if you bought Food Empire at a lower price, you might want to consider take some profit. Nothing wrong to take some profit, okay? Because if you take some profit, if the stock price go down, you can continue to sell further. If the price continue to go up, you still have some share. So this is Food Empire, DaRenTang. So DaRenTang 的话，继续的向上。So DaRenTang continue to go up, okay, which is one of my favorite. 所以如果你们有买的话，也是请 type yes 其实很多人没有讲到这个故事，讲到这个股票，有可能是我这边在讲不了。Alright, so I think a lot of stock guru, I think they didn't talk about this stock. Probably is because this is a US dollar stock listed in Singapore market. Alright, but I actually don't care as long as the stock can make money, then yeah, we can participate actually. So I talked about this stock when the price was $1.14, okay? So as of today, still going up further. So as of now, already went up 77%, right? So that's why when the stock price go up like this, you have to be careful, trying to take profit. You can take 30% profit or you can take 40% profit, all right? Because it consider expensive and you also consider overbought, all right? And it means that profit taking may happen anytime soon, okay? Profit taking may happen anytime soon, right? So it's quite interesting stock. And what else? Genting, Sembcorp Marine, Sembcorp Industry, Genting. So Genting, okay, I've been talking about this stock since last year, all right? Why? Because after Singapore government begin to open up the border and then followed by Chinese government begin to open up the border, that is when before I talk about Genting Singapore, all right? So as of now, it's still pretty strong, all right? And you can see that although the price went up, currently they are the support level. Okay, so based on the chart, okay, although I ask you to take some profit, I think still got potential to go up higher. The next resistance is around $1.21. 所以这个是这个是云顶新加坡云顶主力是差不多是在这个1块2毛1 right? And you can see that 支撑是差不多是在这个1块1毛6。Right, so it's a pretty strong, what we call that, stock. So you can see that Genting is pretty strong. I think still got potential, right? The highest can go, I think, around $1.21. Followed by Keppel DC and China Aviation. So Keppel DC also went up. The stock that I talk about it when the price is somewhere around here, all right? So that is the price that actually when we talk about it, and since then the price continue to go up. the price begin to slow down a little bit, but I think still got potential, okay? Because if you compare with the previous high, still got a lot of potential, okay? Still got a lot of potential, okay? And what else? China Aviation. China Aviation. So China Aviation, what happened? So China Aviation pulled back and rebound recently, right? So basically, when I talk about this stock, was around 78 cent or 80 cent. So I'm using the price action strategy. Okay, price action strategy basically, we will only buy when the price begin to rebound or when the price begin to move lah. Reason is because that we don't want our money to be stuck, and every one of us have a limited money, so that's why we prefer to buy when the stock begin to move. So that's what I call price action. 所以很多人不懂什么是 price action，其实 price action 就是告诉我们，我们就是说买进的机会哦，其实是在股票刚刚开始要走动的时候哦，当它在休息的时候，我们是不会去买它 ，OK？But 它开始走动的时候，我们就买进 ，Alright？ 所以这样避免的话，避免套牢了。所以 that's why we use price action strategy, right? And what else? Okay. Next, we talk about US. Okay, US market, semiconductor is still strong. Okay, Nvidia, TSM, AMD. All right. So this sector I've been talking about it since last year as well in October. And then energy stock like XOM. Okay, XOY, SGML, and VITS. Although energy sector is going down, right? This is what we call it, the energy sector that is still pretty strong. All right, but I think need to be careful because overall the energy sector, is not doing well. Only few stock is doing well. All right, like the stock that I mentioned here, right? Even though XOXY is not doing well as well. VIST is doing quite well, right? So this is what we call that exceptional, okay? So I talked about this stock since last year, okay? If you make money, if you buy, please type yes as well, all right? So you can see this is actually oil and gas, all right? Although the sector of oil and gas not doing good, but this stock is exceptional, all right? So I'm not sure why this stock is exceptional. Like what I mentioned, if the stock can help us to make money, I don't really care about what we call that the news, right? So you can see that pretty obvious uptrend every time when they pull back, okay? They always give us opportunity to buy. So this is what I call price actions. So if you want to learn, okay, so that's why I say mastering price actions, okay, is interesting, okay, to help you to improve your portfolio, all right, by buying the good company, all right, and then, it help you to identify the best time to buy when the price pull back. And technology stock, no doubt, is performing quite well, all right, and then followed by green energy, okay, so FSLR is quite interesting. All right, still pretty strong. Okay, so what about your stock? 所以你们的股票有哪一些？你可以 type 在这个 Q&A session 吗？ May I know what is happened to T14? Recently price like rocket. Can buy. T14 是什么股票？DaRenTang. DaRenTang, I talk about this stock, Kelvin, when the price was $1.14. So now you want to buy is too high already. Don't buy. 不要买了，不要买了。Okay. So that's why a lot of people they prefer to buy you see, huh? A lot of people only realize when the price went up a lot. When I talk about this stock, when price was $1.16, I assume not many people are buying, or maybe nobody buy. Okay, so when the price shoot up, people are rushing in. So usually, I don't recommend when the price shoot up like this. Okay, I would prefer when the price uptrend, pull back. Okay, so that's when we buy. All right, Kelvin. So that's why I say you need to attend the class. Have you attended the class? Okay, we buy when the price pull back. We buy when the price pull back. We don't buy now. Okay, we don't buy now. Right. So again, before I go further, okay, I apologize to everyone first because I cannot analyze everyone's stocks. Okay, maybe I will randomly choose. Okay. So apologize to you first. So nanofilm, okay, we take a look. Nanofilm. What happened to nanofilm? Okay, let me see nanofilm. Actually, nanofilm is not bad, okay, but just that the price is a bit volatile. So you can see based on my previous drawing, right? I talked about this stock when the price was somewhere around, I think somewhere around $1.35. Okay. So since then, the price continued to go up actually. And very obvious, the price actually hit the resistance, $1.76. So my suggestion to you is that wait for pullback. Okay, wait for pullback. When is the time to buy? Okay, you might want to consider somewhere around here, $1.60 maybe. All right. So 主力是差不多是在1.6毛这样了，1.6毛1哦，1.6毛1左右。All right. So so the nanofilm is actually turn around, okay, turn around already the price, right? So you can see that the downtrend previously, so now they begin to turn around, okay, begin to turn around. So these are the stock that we are looking for, okay, when the price begin to turn around, then that's when we begin to buy, okay? We don't buy when the stock price the go downtrend. So that's why we use price action strategy to buy, okay, to buy, right? And what else do we sell now if we have stock? KL, I think I did explain clearly just now, okay? I hope you can catch what I mean. Uni-Asia. Uni-Asia. So let me see what has happened to Uni-Asia. Uni-Asia went up previously, now they go sideways, all right? And the volume is not much actually. Can you see the volume? Not much, right? So I'm not sure what is the price is going to move. What is the direction of this price? But having said that, if the price can continue to move up, the next resistance is $1.075. All right. So the price has been recovered since December. Okay. But then now they has paused or go sideways or stagnant, right? Probably because they went up so much. Okay. So we'll see how. Okay. So right now there's no buyer coming in. Okay. So you can see there's not much volume. Okay. There's not much volume. All right. Based on sharing hedge fund, let me talk about Olam. Olam. So what happened to Olam? So Olam crashed down previously, right? But right now they are in the resistance，所以现在是差不多是在阻力，差不多是在1块6毛，会不会再继续上 ？OK， 所以我看一下。So will they continue to go up? All right. So a bit subjective, all right, because it's very obvious the resistance is $1.60. Maybe they may go down before they go up again, right? Maybe. So 有可能是 resistant, okay, 有可能回调, so anything can happen. $1.53 before they continue to go up. So this is Olam, right? PetrolChina. PetrolChina, all right? The price went up super high. Okay, the price went up super high. So what happened? Okay, when the price went up so high, profit taking. Okay, profit taking. So we can see that are they in the resistance? $4.91. Right? So it's quite obvious they are currently near the peak. So you have to be careful, right? Because they went up so high. Okay, profit taking if you can and wait for the pullback. All right, if you want to buy back again. So the next pullback maybe somewhere around $4.50. So there's a support level, maybe, right? So PetrolChina. And what else? Uber, US stock Uber. So how do you think about Uber? All right, so Uber is part of the technology stock, okay? So overall technology sector are moving up, okay? So you can see that the Uber, right, are actually moving up as well, okay? In a slow phase, all right? But you can see that the price is looking up. So this is actually quite a positive sign. So it tells us that the stock is actually recovering. Okay, it actually tells us that the stock is recovering, right? But just that the price is pretty volatile. Okay, so you can see that when they pull back 20%, right? 30%. So it's pretty volatile stock. But having said that, they are near support level recently, right? So it actually gives us some opportunity to buy back the stock, right? So as long as the price stay above the 200-day moving average and the trend line, I think still okay, right? I think still okay, right? So I will randomly choose, I will not choose all the stock. A price US REITs. So what happened to these stocks? What happened to these stocks? Right. So number one, the stock is downtrend, right? So that's why normally I don't recommend you to buy downtrend stock unless there is a sign of turnaround. But so far there's no sign of turnaround, and the price continue to go down, which is a bit scary. All right, because some other stock that I show you is going up, but this stock is going down. There must be something wrong with these stocks, right? So I'm not sure what is the problem with this stock, but by looking at the chart, it can tell us that the buyer has no interest. Okay, people are selling. Okay, then we should avoid this type of stock. Okay, for now, okay, we should avoid this type of stock. Although previously they did rebound, all right, around 38%, but after that the price continued to crash down. All right, so that's why you have to be very careful. Okay, although is telling us the stock price is a little bit cheap, okay, but now you are stuck. Okay, if you buy this stock, you will be stuck. So our intention to use price action is not to allow our money to be stuck. Okay, so that's why I say if the market turn against you, you must, sell away, set stop loss to sell away. All right, so this is important. PDD. So what happened to PDD, right? So PDD, the price gap down recently because of the earning does not meet the expectation. So the price is actually gap down. All right. So basically, what happened to the stock? Okay. What happened to the stock? So the stock is actually near the, what we call that, the important support level. This support level, 70.60 cents, is very important. So if they break, I think they may go down further, right? So you have to be very careful. So, but as long as the price stay above the support level, I think should be fine. But if they break below, then you have to be very careful, right? So you can see that it's pretty strong support. It's an important support. So what I mean is that if they really break, then you have to be very careful. Okay, ma? Right? DBS. Okay, we talk about DBS. Right? So overall, Singapore Bank is still pretty weak, right? So but if you can see that they are near the support level, okay, they are near the 200-day moving average support level, right? So went up a lot since last year, okay, went up a lot since last year, all right? So if you are looking for a midterm trade, okay, I think this is an opportunity for you to buy some, okay? Don't buy too much because we do not know how are they going to move. Will they go up or go down? We are not really sure, all right? So, but having said that, there is a setup, so you can actually buy a little bit and then you see how, all right? Because right now the price is actually near the support level. So it's pretty obvious. This is quite a strong support level, all right? Capital Land Invest. Capital Land Invest. Okay, what happening? Sideways also. All right. So this stock is a dividend stock. All right. So usually my suggestion to you is that if you want to buy this dividend stock, if you can try to buy near the bottom. Okay. $3.50. Okay. Is a quite attractive price to buy. But if you rely on this stock for the price appreciation a bit tough, okay, because this is a dividend stock. So usually dividend stock, the movement may not be aggressive as other stock. All right. So next, First Resources. So First Resources also near the sideway. Previously, I talked about this stock, right? Whenever the price touches the support level, it actually gives us the opportunity to buy. But however, recently what happened? However, recently they moved in the sideways directions. Okay, they move in the sideways directions is actually near the support level as well. $1.57. So the resistance is $1.70. So what does that mean? If the price can continue to go up and $1.70 is the should be your target price. So that means you might want to consider to sell to take profit if the price hit $1.70, right? So you can see that it has been slowed down, okay, moving sideways, but still look good, okay, because the price are still sloping up. Still look good, okay? Right, so next thing, we take a look at other stock like Singtel. Singtel. Singtel, what happened to Singtel? Singtel support is $2.34. And very obvious, the resistance is $2.52, right? So it's a pretty strong resistance, okay? 所以你可以看到这是主力是非常强哦，每次动到这个蓝色线跟红色线，它就回调 ，all right？除非它突破这个红色线跟蓝色线了哦。So 到目前为止来说，它是 pullback，所以有可能的 next support level is $2.44. Okay, 244 is a support level, right? Is pretty obvious. And look like the price is begin to move in a sideways. Okay, look like the price begin move in a sideways, right? So this is a Singtel. Let me see C Limited, okay? So C Limited actually look positive, right? Because what happened? The stock price, can you see, is sloping up as well, all right? And recently they pull back is actually give us the opportunity to buy some, right? So I think got a lot of potential, okay, because the price sell down a lot, okay? I think more than 80%, all right? So now they begin to recover slowly, okay? Now they begin to recover slowly. I think by looking at the chart, look okay, all right, look okay because the price didn't drop much as well. 所以整体来说 C Limited 其实是不错了哈，它其实是慢慢的在涨 all right， 所以最近它也是没有什么跌 all right， 所以它这几天你可以看到1、2、3、4 they actually drop around 4 days, okay, so last night they sell down, okay, but then before closing, people are buying up again, right? So I think still got potential by looking at the chart because the price, like what I mentioned, sloping up, buyer interests are coming back for this stock, right? What else? ComfortDelGro. Okay, ComfortDelGro is a dividend stock. right? ComfortDelGro 是 dividend stock, okay? 所以有时候你们不要把 dividend stock 跟这个growth stock 掺在一起啦。所以看 So basically, ComfortDelGro is a dividend stock. So my suggestion to you is that you have to understand what we call that. You want to buy for price appreciation or you want to buy for dividend. All right. So if you want to buy for price appreciation, then this stock ComfortDelGro may not be suitable for price appreciation. This stock ComfortDelGro is more for dividend stock. All right. And you can see that the stock is very, very big, very, very weak. No? It's a very weak stocks. All right. It's a very weak stock and the price keep going down and it's a downtrend. And if you want to buy for a dividend stock, I think current price is quite reasonable because based on the support level, all right, $1.20 is quite a reasonable price for you to accumulate, all right. But personally, I will not buy these stocks, all right, because there are many good stock out there, okay. And then and I also worry if let's say the price will continue to go down or not, okay. Nobody know, all right. If they continue to go down, then even though you collect the dividend, also cannot cover the dividend also cannot cover the losses. So you have to be very careful, right? Sun Power. Right. So how do you think the Sun Power? All right, Sun Power, although the chart look good, okay, but just that there's no volume recently. 所以它最近没有什么量, right? But by looking at the chart, okay, it actually look good, okay. But if you buy, then you have to wait 如果你买进的话，你就是要等哦。问题是它没有量，你要等那个量进来 alright. So the good thing I can tell you is that people are not selling, okay. People are still holding. So that's why you can see the price didn't drop. So this is a positive sign. So you want to buy, actually you can, but you have to wait, all right, patiently, because we do not know when the price is going to move. All right. So yeah, just need to be patient. What else? So I will choose the stock. Okay, we take a look SIA. So how do you think about SIA? 所以你个人认为 SIA 可以买吗？可以吗？ All right. 其实 SIA 的话，当初它有 pullback. So previously they did pullback. All right. So you can see that the support level was $5.60. All right. $5.60. Then after that, the price actually rebound. Okay. I think still got potential. All right. Just that they has been slowed down a little bit. I think still got potential. Because why? Because the, what we call it, the resistance is somewhere around here. So the resistance is around $6, right? So currently the price is near the support level, okay? And because STI index is not really moving, okay? So, and this stock, that's why SIA is part of the blue chip, they're also not really moving, okay? And look okay. 所以如果你要买的话，其实是可以哦。为什么呢？因为它还是属于上升趋势的股票 ，alright， but 有可能会比较慢一点，因为之前已经上了很多 ，alright， 所以有可能它会比较慢 ，OK， 所以如果它有到这个6块钱的话，其实是一个阻力 ，OK，right，SD Engineering。 So what happened to ST Engineering? All right, ST Engineering. So what happened to ST Engineering? Any idea? All right. So 有可能ST Engineering 它的 support 有可能是在这边 all right. So if they pull back, okay, so you can see that the price is actually sloping down 看到吗？ So the price is actually sloping down, all right. So if they pull back, rebound, okay, they may hit another resistance here unless the price actually break through, okay, unless the price actually break through. So 25号4月是 dividend payout, no X day dividend payout. So the support level is somewhere around $3.60, okay. 有可能$3.60 before they rebound and hit another resistance. All right, so that is when you need to be careful about that. Right. What is 9CI? 9CI 9CI 是什么股票？ 9CI Capital Land Invest. Capital Land Invest 已经讲过了，刚才 OK. City Development. CITV Development. So how do you think City Development? All right, so City Development currently the price near the support level, 所以支撑是差不多是在7块3哦，7块3 then 主力是差不多是8块3 all right. 所以如果看图表的话，其实是你要买是可以，可是你要 set stop loss 了 all right. You have to set stop loss if you want to buy, and the resistance is somewhere around $8.30. Okay, $8.30. So you need to what we call that, watch out for the resistance, $8.30, and support level is $7.30, right? So 有时候你看 so if you look at this chart, right, city development is actually move in a sideways direction. So that means if you don't sell when they hit $8.30, it is very difficult for you to make back the money 啦。所以你可以看到，其实 City Development 在它的图表告诉我们，它其实是在走横盘的状况。会走横盘的状况的话，如果你在7块3买 ，OK， 你8块3你要记得卖哦。7块3买，8块3卖，7块3买，8块3卖。So that is the strategy 啦for City Development, right? So SATS. So how is it SATS? So SATS, previously I talked about SATS. You can buy near the support level, $2.45 or $2.50 you can buy, right? So 你买了你就是等咯 ，OK？ 你现在不买的话，难道你要等到它4块钱的时候才买吗？ Alright, so even though now the price is still okay if you want to buy, if you miss out $2.52. So if you want to buy now also can, because this stock is for long term, is for dividend if you want to. Alright, so of course if the price can pull back at $2.52, that is the most attractive price 啦。所以最重要是它还是算便宜，因为之前的高是差不多是在4块钱 right? So now the price did went up. If you want to buy, you can buy some a little bit. I'm not sure the price will pull back or not. If the price can pull back and drop to $2.53, then that is for me the best price for you to accumulate more 啦 OK， 所以如果它有掉回2块5毛3的话，2块5毛3是最美的价钱最美的价钱。现在的话是差不多是比较贵一点 ，but 还 OK。为什么呢？ 因为跟之前比起来的话还便宜，最高是4块钱哦，现在是2块7毛9，还 OK。你要买一点的话还是 OK。All right. And dynamic. Yeah, okay. Recently went up. A long time never see this stock. Because why? Because they moved sideways for a very long time. So finally they went up. 所以这个股票之前有是有看过 ，alright， 可是它走横盘太久了，所以就没有去看它，而且最近才跑 ，OK， 最近跑的话已经高了哦。So you can see that a doji is being formed, so that means a pullback may occur anytime soon, alright. So the what we call that, the pullback or profit taking may happen anytime soon, alright. So I'm not sure will they sell down or the price will stay sideways, all right? Because they can go both direction, either up or go down, right? 所以它到目前为止已经上了 ，OK？ 所以现在有2个状况 ，either 它是突破或者是回调 ，all right？But 如果你看它是一个 doji 的图表的话 ，doji 的话，有可能它会回调，有可能啊，哦 ，right？But looking at the chart, in fact, the chart look okay because the price is sloping up also. Okay, sloping up means that the buyer interests are still there, right? So we can continue to observe. You can put this stock into your watch list and wait for the pullback. All right. So that's all from the stock analysis. Okay, I hope you can stay until the end. Okay, let me share with you the mastering price action workshop, or you can share this with your friend or family member. Now, what is the main problem of the retail investor? Okay, number one is because they always read the news. All right, so that's why, like what I explained to you, please don't read the news. 不要看太多的 news 好不好？不要看太多的 news. Okay, then what is the suggestion to you? So the suggestion or the solution is use the price action. Right? So what is price action? Price actions means that we only buy when the price begin to move or when the price near the bottom. Okay, we buy when the price begin to move or when the price near the bottom.